Welcome everyone, I'm RetroRecharged and today we're here to talk a little bit about Altered TCG. I kind of saw ads for this on Facebook, different social medias, before the Kickstarter launched on January 30th. It kind of piqued my interest, I'm a huge fan of the TCGs, play Magic, getting in the flesh and blood, collected a little bit of MetaZoo, rest in peace, and Pokemon, so I have a little bit of knowledge about TCGs, and I decided from day one I was going to go ahead and back this. So before I get into analyzing this Kickstarter campaign too much, I do want to say I may be a little biased towards the studio and the game because I played the game. Me and my fiance have played the game. We absolutely love it. Also, with the Game-genic accessories, that makes a huge impression on me to see that they are partnered with someone as, big as Game-genic. So we are exactly a week and a day past the starting point, and you can see 2.3 million 6,344 backers in this project. So it seems like it is going to be a pretty large community once the game comes out. They already have 42 updates. They stay pretty engaged with the community. Right now, things don't seem great. We'll get into that a little bit before, but my first thoughts are, wow. I didn't think this game was going to get that much support. I thought maybe it would hit 500,000, maybe 1 million by the end of the project. I did not expect 2.3 million a week and a day into the project. 6,000 backers. I thought maybe, TCGs are kind of a niche market. I don't think your average Joe usually heads over to that local LGS, picks up a bunch of cards, and starts playing. It might begin that way more so with Lorcana and some of the more casual stuff. Pokemon, obviously, for the younger generations, but it looks like they're going to have a pretty sizable community right off the gate. I will say the game is super fun. Let me go down to how to play. Basically, your goal of the game, there's no combat or anything, so you're not fighting against anyone. You're just trying to have your companion and hero meet somewhere. It's pretty cool. I like it. You draw 6, you put 3 into your mana pool, and you just go back and forth playing different stuff. I was able to play, well, they took it down now, but before, they had the print and play decks, which is super cool for anyone wanting to actually give it a little beta test, or TTS. I don't know how well X-Altered works. I tried to download it the other night, and it looked like maybe the link I was at was like hidden or something, but me and my fiance played on Board Game Arena, I believe it was on, for like a beta test. I played as Lyra and Muna, so the gambling one and the druid class. Lyra is more so like dice rolling, a lot of dice rolling mechanics, super fun. There's ups and downs to dice rolling in a TCG. Sometimes you get really good rolls that you want. Sometimes you get rolls that were not good and you're just getting crushed. The Druid, which is Muna, I believe is how it's called. Muna is a lot more of a mid-range deck. Doesn't really gas out. I liked that too. I love the cute little mushroom art. That was super cool to see. But let's talk about some of the pledges. What kind of sucks in this campaign is they don't have a $1 pledge, so you can get like optional buys. So you see back because you believe in it. With that, you don't get to get any of the optional buys, and they have a ton of optional buys, so that kind of sucks. But basically, You start Discovery Pack, $24. You get 2 of the 6 starter decks. That's pretty cool. Gets you and a friend or you and a significant other into the game. Can't complain about that. Expert Pack, you're looking at 161. You get the 2 decks and a booster box. That's pretty solid. You get a little deal off of the booster box and everything, but I would have loved to seen, like, as a thank you, the backers maybe throw in some of the GameGenic sleeves or tokens, stuff like that. But sadly, it wasn't in this package. You know, it is what it is. They're trying to get the game off the ground. Master Pack at $537, 4 boxes, 2 Divine Pack, 5,000, and that's where you get the most stuff. You get 6 uncut sheets. It used to be 5, so they were really nice. Threw in another sheet. 6 of the autographed prints, 42 boxes, and 2 of the starter decks. A lot of the feedback I saw in the comments about the pledges is people wanted a tier where you could get all 6 of the starter decks. I'm a little surprised they didn't have anything like that. Put that like right in between your base tier and your 1 box tier. And then I do think it is kind of weird that they go straight from $500 to $5,000. That's a pretty large gap of money, and a large gap of boxes. I mean, you're going from 4 to 42. You would have thought they would have had something else in there, but you can see the optional buys. This is a French company, so everything is in euros. 13 euro. I'm not going to do the conversion just because I'm not good at math, but you can buy another box, sleeves, which I love the artwork of, like the mana. Love that. They have a Kickstarter exclusive with all of these at a discounted price, which is kind of nice. Kickstarter exclusive mat, which of course I got because who doesn't want a cool play mat? The one I really like, I love this Prime game mat. I think it's super cool for you, especially like if you take it into your game store or you just have a set table where you love this game so much that you just have a set table set aside for you and a friend to play. Super cool game mat. They added this, the standees on a little bit later. I really like them. The only thing is like when you're building decks on down the road, I don't, you know, you're going to be like, oh, this is just a generic for this faction because, you know, the hero's not the same. I am a huge fan of the premium markers. Pretty generic, will go along with the game. The adventure track, if you want to hold the cards in place, I mean, that's fine. I think probably, at least in my opinion, the premium markers is kind of where it's at for me. The deck wallet, I really love GameGenic's boxes. Well, here actually, I carry my Lorcana deck in a GameGenic box. Carry all my dice and everything in there. I love their stuff, so I'm a little biased on that. That deck wallet to me looks really nice. The soft ones, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of soft ones. If I'm not using, I forget what they call it. I think it's like the Tower 100 Plus. I use like the Bastions. I have some of my Commander decks and stuff like that in those. They just added these today, these binders. The premium zip-up one, I think looks really cool. I think it'd make a great combo piece along with this deck wallet because it's the same color. These soft ones, I mean, they're kind of cool. I got one with the Pokemon 151 binder collection, but I don't really use binders so much. If I'm storing my cards and I know I'm not going to need them, like they're not staples to me, they go in a shoebox in my my basement. So I mean, those binders aren't a huge thing to me. And then they actually make some pretty cool packages to go along with those. So, you know, I think a lot of this has went to the accessories. We can see we have 113 on just the starter decks, almost 4,000 in expert, master 1,000, and divine pack 86. A lot of stuff I see in the comments are people kind of want a tier between the discovery and expert, because not a lot of people can afford a booster box right now, you know. And when all of the stretch goals are, let me click in here, we have alt arts, promo cards, alt art, drop, rare drop, more common, alt art, foil, alt art. 6 of the 18 of the heroes will be foil. And it keeps going on and on and on until you hit 2 million euros. We get one free booster pack. I think a lot of people are going to be missing out on all of the stretch goals because they can't afford to buy a box or two. It's nice that they get one booster pack, but I think they should have a pledge level where there's more of those Kickstarter packs, because maybe later on down the road they get a retail, but guess what? Your Kickstarter backers that have just a starter deck, they're not going to see any of these alt arts or anything unless they get on the marketplace whenever that's available. And I don't think that's necessarily fair to the community. If we go and look at Alpha Clash, which Alpha Clash was a Kickstarter campaign a little while ago. I'm not too familiar with Kickstarter TCGs. I just know Alpha Clash right now has kind of been making a name for itself. If we look, this one raised $422,809, and it had 1,200 plus people backing it. And if you scroll through their campaign, it looks pretty good too, obviously. But you scroll down to their stretch goals at 450K and 500K. If they would have hit that, if you went into the $110 or $120 pledge, you got a whole booster box. We're over 2 million, and we just got exclusive pack and box art. So, and one booster pack at 2 million. In this one, 100K, you get special promos all throughout the campaign. I don't know how I feel necessarily about the stretch goals. Just because, I mean, I would love to pull one of these promo cards, but obviously, like, I'm not loaded enough to buy 144 packs off rip. I mean, I would love to. I love the game. I love kind of the way they're looking to go with this. But we're not getting a whole lot thrown in, and that's, you know, I understand they're a whole studio. They have a whole team. They've had multiple updates introducing the team. Oh, I did forget to mention, with the social media stretch goal, they're throwing in an extra card that it's a 50-50 shot between a common and rare, which is kind of nice. That was probably one of the better stretch goals. But, I mean, you have your meet your team, and obviously, if this is just one team, there's a lot of people involved in this, so I understand that, you know, they need to raise money to make the product, pay their staff, get organized play. I'm sure they probably had licensing deals between GameGenic that they have to pay for and everything. And honestly, I hope people at the studio having a smashing success like this, I hope they get a bonus or something Nice for having such a successful launch. That, and hopefully they can put a lot of that money back into organized play and everything like that. It's just, you think with how big these numbers are, you would see a little bit more in the stretch goals, and people are pretty vocal about it in the comments. I've kind of chimed in a little bit saying, kind of what I said earlier. I hope they put more towards, it would be nice to see some of these promos, stuff like that. But I understand they're a whole studio. They have overhead. They have, people. it takes people to run the game. So I understand all that. But I'd like to see more than one pack thrown in, one extra card thrown in these packs. Overall, though, I'm very excited about the game. I think it is a super, super cool idea that I can open up a booster pack, scan a code, it goes into my digital collection. If I want to play casual games with my friends, I can print out proxies straight from them. If I want to foil a promo card, I can get that printed and it'll be right here on the shelf with everything else. I don't know of anything else that is kind of on this track. I've heard of Parallels TCG, which is more like an NFT project, which I haven't even got to play any of that or anything. But I really think once this gets to June or July, the Kickstarter ends, I'm super excited to get my hand on a couple of boxes, crack some packs, and I'll definitely show you guys that as well. And just build some cool decks. I'm really excited to see what the uniques do, because the demo decks didn't have any of the unique cards. So I think seeing that, getting my hands on some of the alt arts and playing, is going to be huge. I just hope not a lot of people bought in for the wrong reason. Meaning, I hope they didn't buy into this Kickstarter to get, a couple hundred boxes, sit on them, try and sell them if the game's successful, because that's going to be what a lot of people, I think, will do. I hope, and they seem to be doing a lot of good stuff to try and keep, people wanting to draft it. Let's see. The only thing I can really think of that kind of hurt there, we think about players first, is adding a different art to the box and the wrappers, especially kind of this far into the Kickstarter. Doesn't necessarily make sense to me, but I really think adding the extra rares and stuff like this, so you get a rare replaces a common every 4 boosters. If you're doing a draft or sealed, I think that's really gonna make the game a lot more fun. Drafting wise and everything, you're gonna have a little bit more powerful cards if you draft out of the Kickstarter stuff. It's also just nice, that way players that get in early get a little bit more out of their boxes to build the decks they want. But I think as we keep seeing the updates, getting closer to July, I think we'll really see what Equinox has planned for the game, and whether or not the community is a speculative community or a playing community. I hope it's the latter. I love the game. My fiance likes it more than Lorcana even, and that's a good sign. She does not like TCGs that much, so I think it's super interesting. I think it's got a lot of promise behind it. Definitely some weird stuff in the stretch goals and Kickstarter, but we'll see. Well, I think that wraps up my first initial thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Have you heard of Altered before? Have you, other than me showing you the Kickstarter, have you thought about backing? What do you guys think? Let me know. Thank you. Bye.